Hi and welcome to Euro TV News. So today we will be discussing about the presidency of Joe Biden and focusing on his first and second terms in office. We will analyze the context of his election and the key reforms he set up and the challenges he faced, especially during his second term. Indeed, Biden's age was a topic of discussion during the campaign, but his experience in politics reassured voters. The main question we will address is how did Joe Biden's leadership evolve through his first and second terms, and how did his age and health impact his presidency?
Joe Biden was elected as the 46th President of the United States in 2020 election, defeating Donald Trump. At 78 years old, Biden became the oldest person ever elected to the presidency. Despite concerns over his age, he was chosen for his extensive political experience, having served as a U.S. Senator for Delaware for over 30 years and as Vice President under Barack Obama. His campaign was largely shaped by the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. Biden passed the American Rescue Plan in March 2021, providing direct financial relief to Americans, extending unemployment benefits, and funding a national vaccine distribution campaign. In November 2021, Biden signed the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, a $1.2 trillion package aimed at rebuilding America's infrastructure, including roads and bridges. Biden's administration also worked to address systemic inequalities, particularly racial justice, with plans for police reform and measures to expand healthcare access for disadvantaged communities. In short, we can say that his first term was rather successful, but we will see that it's not the same for the second one.
So we are going to talk about challenges and health issues on his second terms. Joe Biden's frequent loss of memory and moments of confusion have led people to believe that he may not be able to carry out his duties. Biden's physical health became a topic of concern, particularly when he was seen falling in public events and having difficulties moving without assistance. We can see that his memory loss, although much more frequent, have always existed. For example, in 2007, already senator, he explained that the presidential candidate, Barack Obama, is the first African American to be articulate, beautiful and clean, a very controversial remark for which he will apologize. A year later, he also asked Senator Chuck Graham to stand up at a meeting when he was in a wheelchair. However, the president and the government has always denied his memory losses by saying that the president had no memory problems.
One of the most controversial moments of his second term was the messy withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2024. The quick fall of the Afghan government and the evacuation of American citizens and allies caused a big drop in his public image and approval ratings, and his popularity continued to decline, especially with the case with Hunter Biden, his son, who faced legal issues, including an investigation into the business dealing. In 2025, Biden controversially pardoned his son, which sparked a public debate about the ethics of his decision and the impact of his presidency. In conclusion, Joe Biden's presidency has been marked by both significant achievements and major challenges. In his first term, he passed essential reforms that addressed the pandemic, economic recovery and infrastructure. However, in the second term, his age and health concerns led to difficulties both physically and mentally. The Afghanistan withdrawal and the legal issues with his son further reduced his popularity.
Joe Biden's presidency will be remembered as a time of significant progress in certain areas, but also as a period of challenges, particularly related to his age and health. The question of how much these factors influence his ability to govern will continue to shape discussion about his legacy. Goodbye and see you soon on Euro TV News.